Hey guys, welcome back to Stewie's Garage. Today I'm going to show you how to change the output shaft seal for the driver's side CV axle on the 2002 Audi A4 1.8T. Just to show you, I believe it's that seal that's leaking where that CV axle goes into the transmission. I've replaced it before and it just seems to not be right, so I got a new seal here. I'm going to try it again, and it's really dirty. You can see it's already leaked a spot on the ground. A lot of residual just fluid everywhere from the constant leaking. So it's pretty much a huge mess. So there's a top-down view. It's just that seal right there when it meets with the transmission. What I'm going to do here, soak it down with some degreaser and then blast it off the pressure washer. And hopefully we'll be able to fix that. I like this heavy-duty foaming one. It seems to coat things really nice. Okay, you can see all that foam is kind of settled on and started to drip off, so it's ready to be blasted off. You can let it sit and soak like overnight if you want, but I've had good luck with just blasting it off. The other day I had a bunch of oily residue on this pressure washer and it came right off after like 20 minutes of sitting. Testing out some new GoPro batteries today, so that'd be cool to see how long they last. Alright, looks a lot cleaner down there now. Be nice to work on it that way. Cool. So 2 reasons for doing that. It's nice to work on things that are clean, but also I need to drive it and like make sure the leak is actually coming from there. I just want to verify it before I actually tear it up. So I'm going to take it for a little drive and see if it leaks. Check this out. This is another project I'm working on. I'm trying to clean out these tires, and oh my gosh, like the size of the rust flakes coming out is crazy. I don't think these are really salvageable. It's insane. Okay, it's actually the next day. I'm gonna take this car for a little drive and we'll see if it's leaking. Well, so I'm just taking it for like a 5 or 6 mile drive to make sure the transmission's nice and hot. That way I can check the fluid, make sure the fluid level's good. It has been leaking for a while, but I fill it up like every 6 months. How it's dripping, if it's dripping from where I think it's dripping from. But yeah, it's just good to get it nice and hot. So just doing that. Probably gonna turn around here in a second and head back to the shop. Okay, got the car jacked up in the air and it's level because I got the rear up too. So I can check that fluid in the transmission, but I was crawling around and I couldn't showcase it better myself. The freaking leak. The leak is very evident. You can see it right here. You can see it's coming right out of that output shaft seal and then dripping down onto the edge there. So we got it coming right out of here, and then it's running down, dripping off of here, and that's after driving it for 10 minutes. So gotta get the seal in here and replace it. We're gonna have to remove this backing plate, of course the axle and all that, so I have to lower the subframe a little bit too. It'll be alright though. So let me get to pulling that out. Checking transmission fluid now. You need a 17mm. I'm idling the car in neutral. I already broke it loose. We should get some flow. If we don't, that means we're low. Alright, we're low. Unfortunately, with these, you have to pump it in. So I didn't have enough fluid to fully top it off because you need to pump it in until it runs back down. This is the fluid I always use, Pentazin ATF1. Used it for years, it's great. It's what this needs. Okay, I'm gonna pull that apart now. I'm gonna pull off this brake caliper, it's a 21. Expand it just a little bit so it'll be easy to put back on. And then I just like to hang it. Rotor. Pull off this axle hub nut. Like to keep anti-seize on there. Using an M10 triple square to get these inner fasteners off. When in doubt, impact it out. Dang, that is snug. Okay, now's the really fun part. Wrestle it out. Oh, come on. Okay, not too bad. Okay, there it is. As you can see, the backside's not what's leaking. It feels good. Boots are good. Oy. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So we need to take off the housing, which is going to be the Torx bits here, and then Allen on the sensor. There's a couple sensors connected to it, but it shouldn't be too bad. Wow, that was long. Okay, it's loose. Now we got to get those Torx. That's crazy. Those are so tight. These are Torx 40 bolts that hold that thing in. There's 3 of them. And it's really easy to strip them because they're in there super snug. Had to hammer this one on to get it. But you can go through the axle with the long extension and actually steady your extension and then use some leverage and get it out. I almost lost it on this one. Let's see how bad it is. It's still alive, but barely. Nasty. Because this comes off. I don't think it comes out because the subframe is in the way. So got this piece nice and loose, but it's just not going to come out. I remember this because, unless I'm lucky, I don't know. Yeah, so it comes out pretty far, but not all the way, and then we're colliding with the body itself. So we need to just lower this a little bit and we'll be able to get out of here. To take down the subframe, there's 3 bolts up here, these big ones. And then in the back, there's that plate you saw me take off, which has those two. And then there's the main one there. So I did all that. You gotta pry it a little more. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Be nice if I had another person helping me. So close. Okay. There it is. In all its glory. So this is our inner axle thingy. Spins like that. The seal rafter is actually inside there, because that's where we saw it dripping from, was up here and then running down. There is a square cut O-ring right here. So that's pretty old and dried out actually. I might goop it up when I put it back in. Gotta use some snap ring pliers. Yeah, I'll let you know in a few hours when I'm done. Okay, that took like way longer than it should have to get this stupid snap ring off. It's really not easy to get off because it's so big. Come out. Stupid snap ring. Alright, now I can take this thing actually apart. Alright. So that's the hard plastic bearing thingy. It's keyed. That this seal isn't sealing from what I can tell. Let me clean everything up so I can properly install the new seal. The bearing feels fine in there. Okay, got these all cleaned up. This guy goes back on here, other way around. There's a little notch in it. Lands in this notch. Looks good. Pop out this seal really fast. Just used an extension and hooked it on the back side, hammered it through. Make sure I have nothing in here. Here's our new seal. I cleaned out the O-ring. That's not a new O-ring, but I cleaned up ours. There's the number, part number. So new seal, part number. I'm just gonna get this thing lightly started. Looks pretty flat. Put it here. Just kind of looking nice and smooth. Looks pretty good to me. And that's how you get the new seal in. I'm gonna put this sensor back in. I didn't show removal, but it's just like a push lock sort of thing. O-ring looks good on it, so I'm not worried about it. You just slide that over, hooks into place. Put a tiny bit of transmission fluid here just to lubricate things. Put this on top. Just gotta do it gradually. That was a little more tricky than I remember. You have to tap this bearing down incrementally, side to side, to get it level so we can put the snap ring back in. The bearing popped out of the housing while I was putting it on. Feels a little stiff, so I've been putting some transmission fluid inside just to get it pre-lubed. It's all gonna get lubed when the engine or the car starts driving, but it feels pretty tight right now. Now we can put on this troublemaker of a snap ring, maybe. Okay. Looks good. Nice and tight, back in place. Cool. Now, I cleaned my square cut O-ring super well. I don't really trust it to squish up and seal against the body of the transmission, because that's what it's designed to do. I'm gonna put it on with RTV. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna RTV that on both sides actually, and then put it on the transmission. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna slap this back together. I'm not gonna film it. Might do a time lapse or something, but after I'm done, I'll verify the repair with a little video. Okay, it's the next day. I've driven the car about 15 miles at this point. Let's take a look underneath. Right away, notice that there's nothing on the ground, so that's great. And then if we look at this guy again, there is not a drop coming out, and looks good. I think we solved our leak. That's awesome. Now I just need to solve all the other leaks, the oil leaks and the coolant leaks. There's some residual coolant there. But yeah, that transmission fluid leak I believe is finally fixed. I just need to top off the transmission with fluid. The stuff it takes, ATF1 I showed on there, the Pentazine. I can't find that stuff anywhere, so if you know where it is, comment below. I really need to find some more, but I'm glad this is finally fixed. Man, that's been a leak going on for like 2 years now. All right, see ya.